Hi friends, welcome to English Learning Stop. Today we are going to look at some of the advanced phrases that will mean a lot when you speak or when you have conversations with your clients or you are in the meeting or at conferences. This basically will create a great impact or a good image on someone you are talking with. And if you would like to sound professional at your workplace, then these are the best English phrases that I'm going to discuss today. So let's move on. The first one, brush up on. Before finalizing the analysis, you need to brush up on it. Think for it for a moment what I'm trying to say. I hope you got the meaning. See, that means to review. So before you final your analysis, just go with a review of it. Just have a review of it. Or I could even say, before you give your test, you need to brush up on the topic. Okay, so if you are preparing for a test, you need to review for that, of course, right? You need to revise that topic so that you could have more of good or great results. Let's move on. To bank on. I am banking on a great loss due to the lack of interest from the customers. Okay, mention a full stop over here. Again, it's very easy. I hope you got the meaning. The meaning is to guess that something is probable or something is possible, something is going to happen. Okay, to guess that something is probable. Another example, he is banking on a high profit from the sales. So people might have come, a lot of people might have gathered on his shop or whatever he had, and there were a lot of sales. So he was again thinking that he's probably thinking that he's going to have more sales from his customers. So he's banking on, okay, he's guessing that this is going to happen. It's probably he will have a huge sale. Train of thought. My train of thought is to quit the task at the earliest. Okay, this is that means that you are having a logical progression of ideas. Okay, or I could even say my train of thought is to invest a large amount in bank shares. So the ideas, logical ideas that you have in a phrase, that is train of thought. I write the meaning here. I hope you got these three. Let's move on to the next. To table. We might need to table the idea of going outside as it's raining cats and dogs. A very easy one. Okay, it could also be if you find out to shelve. Just remember that to shelve is also used. So, what do you mean by this? I hope you got the meaning. To pause something or to postpone something is to table or to shelve. So as it was raining heavily, the idea of moving out or going out was postponed. To postpone. The next one, think outside the box. If they start thinking outside the box, they will end with the best outcome. They will end up with the best outcome. Okay, so I hope you got the meaning. To start thinking creatively. Okay, to think creatively is to think outside the box. Or else I could also use the example by saying if they start thinking outside the box, their clothing brand could become famous. If they start thinking creative, then the possible outcome is that they will their clothing brand can become famous. People are more likely to buy more and more clothes from them. Okay, if they design very creative, innovative or creative. The next one, in the loop. The company manager asked to keep him in the loop about the products being delivered. So a company is producing a lot of products and he wants himself to be well informed to what products were being delivered in that state or in that part of the city or outside the state. It could be anywhere. So we are just imagining over here. So the products being delivered at different places, the company manager wanted himself to be well informed. Well informed, right? Or else I could even say the Prime Minister asked the health department to keep him in the loop about the patient's health. So he was very anxious to know about his patient's health, and he wanted himself to be in the loop. I hope you got the meanings. Let's move on. On the same page. He was on the same page with his mates of living abroad for higher studies. Very easy. That means if you have the same thoughts or you agree with someone and you understand each other, okay, you basically are agreeing with the other person. So he and his mates thought to study abroad for higher studies, and they were all on the same page. That means they all agreed that they would leave for higher studies abroad. Or I could even say both parties were on same page as they shook hands for the deal to be finalized. So both of the parties agreed that this deal should be finalized. Run something by someone. Before baking the enormous cake, let's run it by the chef. You're going to bake a huge cake, and you definitely, if you're not an expert in cooking or baking, you need to ask someone who is a very special cook or who is a chef. So I have given you the meaning in my sentence, that is to ask someone before doing something. That was the meaning for this is agree, and the meaning for this is to ask, right? Or I could even say before finalizing the project, let's run it by the leader of the group. So you are going to finalize your project, whatever you have done on that project, and now you are going to ask the leader of the group if that was okay, whatever you have done. The next one, this is our second last one, and then we are moving to the last one. Put on the back burner. They put the issue on the back burners instead of bringing it forward. It might be a pretty hot issue, and they put it to get it cooled down, or they put it for a period of time, and it was not the main focus. That is the meaning of this word, of this phrase. But instead of bringing it forward, it might be a pretty hard issue, so they didn't bring it forward. They put it on the back burners. Or else I could even say urgent matters were to be handled by the company, so light issues were put on the back burners. Okay, so pretty light issues were put on the back burners, and urgent matters were to be discussed. The teacher started asking questions off the cuff, but as Sam wasn't prepared, he couldn't reply. I hope you got the meaning. Something that is spontaneous, that means very urgent on an urgent basis on that particular time. So all of a sudden the teacher started asking questions from the student, that was Sam, but as he wasn't prepared, so he couldn't reply for that question. So this is off the cuff, that means something that is spontaneous. I hope you enjoyed my today's lecture. Thanks a lot once again, guys. See you in our next video.